This is a follow-up to the launch of the distribution of 1,002 metric tons of grains by the Ondo State government a few days ago. This was done to crash prices of food items and ease the burden of Nigerians due to the current economic situation. While launching the distribution in Owo, Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa said the essence of the grains is to boost poultry farming and ensure access to safe and sufficient food in the state.
Because of the synergetic effect that it will have.
Governor Aiyedatiwa, who was represented by his deputy Olaide Adelami, thanked President Bola Tinubu for the initiative and implored the beneficiaries to use the grains for the intended purpose.
And what they intend to do is to also distribute this maize to all poultry farmers in Owo and Ose, so that they will blend with all the additives that is necessary, so that will make our poultry healthy. From now on, you begin to see healthy heads in the market, not only eating a healthy head, not only eating a healthy chicken.
Speaking at the event, the Southwest chairman of the Poultry Association of Nigeria, Gideon Oluleye, said the distribution of the grains will enable poultry farmers to produce healthy chickens and eggs. He added that the gesture will also stabilize the supply of poultry products across market in the state and announce a reduction in the price of crate of eggs from 5,000 to 3,000 naira from the farms.
We farmers, we have decided to appreciate them by reducing the cost of our poultry products in the entire market. The cost of eggs that you have been buying for 4,500 naira or 5,000, we have brought them to 3,000. The eggs are here. No nation.
Members of the Poultry Association of Nigeria also expressed gratitude to the president and the state government for the intervention, which they described as timely. Ayodeji Moradeyo, TVC News, Owo.
Yeah, Jide, so in Ondo State, you expect eggs to be at the breakfast table, at least?
Yes, and not just eggs. You know, even the cost of chicken will go down because maize is the main raw material in the production of animal feed, like layers, mash, and the rest of them. And maize had been very, very costly. When the Kwara State governor did something similar to this, it even crashed the price of grains in the market. The effect was not just limited to the poultry farmers. No,
as a blanket.
Given that they had pumped grains into the market, the price of grains went down in Kwara State. It's similar to what we are seeing now. There's no way it won't have impact. Now, the poultry farmers said, okay, we used to sell a crate of egg at 5,000. We'll reduce it to 3,000. This is what we want to see. Because they really don't have an excuse. The people who were blaming old stock for high cost of food and other things they sell in department stores and the rest, the naira began to go down, coming to as low as 150 and all that. Yet, they sustained the old prices. You pretend that, okay, there is no change. You were scamming us by talking about, oh, old stock, old stock. Your old stock, no, they finish. Eh? So people,
you know they get new stock.
Let's at least reciprocate what government is doing. Let's be positive. Let's not increase the burden of our people. If government intervenes, ultimately the goal of government is so that the ordinary man feels that intervention.
Impact, yeah.
So traders, that's why I'm happy with these poultry farmers, because they could have behaved like others. who are citing old stock and all that. But they've said, okay, because of this good gesture on the part of government, and you've got to praise the governor for directly supplying maize to the poultry, those poultry farmers, because they need it desperately.
Yeah.
Now, they're happy, and they've responded by slashing price. That's what government has been demanding of these people. They shouldn't wait until government comes up with a price control board and all that before they do what is right. I'm happy to an extent. Even rice, the price of rice is going down in our country, because somebody called me to say that I bought a bag of rice for 63,000. A lot of the interventions from Dangote, from the others, there's no way it won't have an impact, because once there is a deluge of grains in the market,
the supply will force the price down.
Is a demand and supply thing. Once you have sufficient supply, the volatility in terms of pricing will be a thing of the past.
Yeah, Charles, and again, the intervention shows that it can be done.
Yes, it can be done. I want to leave the track he worked on and also tread another track. The track I'm going to talk is that if you see this intervention of government indeed can work, but this is what I think is the actual definition of palliative. When you want to bring palliative is not just sharing money. I mean, when you continue to give people handout money, it doesn't effectively, address any burden at all. But look at what it has done. What they have done now is a stopgap. It's a stopgap, maybe it's also palliative in another definition. Give it to them and look at how they have effectively managed it. So I think states that are looking to, also getting palliative to their to the citizens and all that, rather than take this is conditional cash transfer and all that. I think the time has come for us to just take this out of our system and go to Ondo, copy the thing and paste it in whatever respective states and ask, let's even call them, how did you do it? So that we can begin to see how effective palliative is done. As you said, it can be done. It's being done right here, not in Afghanistan, not in anywhere, but right here in Ondo here. That within about five hours are there. So I think all states can be
look at those who need it the most.
Exactly, because when you do that, look at the effectiveness of the palliative. You have given them grains. They deploy it to where it's necessary, and what comes out of it, the reduction in price by default. There is nothing like, as you said, instead of setting a committee to address it. No, they didn't have to set up any committee in Ondo State. By default, the whole mechanism just worked, and they had no option than to say, okay, we are beginning to get the gains of all this palliative and intervention. And then you see how reduction in prices have gone. And it's going to definitely, as you said, a time we're going to come when we begin to enjoy all this massive intervention, that prices on their own by default will begin to go down without even having to be talking about
because any
committee and commission and
the whole idea of intervention of this sort is to bring down prices.
Yes.
If you have anchor borrowers program and price of cassava continue to go up, you don't need any other evidence.
That's it.
Yeah.
To show that the program massively
is working massively, very effective.
Because what is the essence of the intervention is to drive down prices. If you cannot drive down prices by virtue of that intervention, then it has failed. So we can see that in this case, it's driving down prices. And I know that across the country now, food prices are going down. I know that the grains released from the strategic grains reserve, there's no way to make an impact because it's huge.
But the people the end users must reciprocate the gesture.
That is the traders.
They must.
I saw a woman, a trader from Ondo State, appealing to government to find a way to compel traders to bring down prices. A trader. She said, why, for example, is Gari this expensive? You can't explain it. Because you don't need dollars to bring in Gari, for example. because you tie everything to the dollar as if it's our national currency. But even things that we produce here, that you don't need dollars to produce, they are very high. Because it seems that no one...
There's no control.
No control.
No control.
So people are just doing what they like. There has to be a way to deal with
Madam, how much dollar thing one? It's everything. Tied to dollar.
But once the price of Pomo go up, we say $1.